senior player in the club said something that has stayed with me ever since. He spoke about Jayden's reaction after we won the Champions League in Morocco. After the final whistle, as the players were celebrating and the confetti was flowing from the stands, he looked over and he saw Jayden hugging another one of his teammates, and he was in tears. And that senior player said to us, in that moment, I realized how much he was carrying. I realized how much this game meant to him. I want to thank our players for allowing me to share those moments with the family. And Mr. and Mrs. Adams, Ronaldo, Amy, Jamie, please believe me, every single one of them wanted to be here today. They are all holding Jayden's memory in their hearts and keeping all of you in their prayers. Now, since Jayden's passing, I've had the privilege of listening to the people that knew him best, those who lived with him, who shared a game with him, who played alongside him, the coaches that helped him throughout his journey. Many people will understandably speak about what he could have become, what trophies he could have lifted, how far his career could have gone, and how many more children and people he could have inspired. But today, let us not dwell on what would have been or what could have been. Today, let's celebrate the magic of Jayden's life. Because while we do not know what Jayden Adams could have achieved, we know exactly who Jayden Adams was. Jayden Adams was a proud Bafana Bafana international. He was a champion of Africa. He was a World Cup competitor. He was a son of Stellenbosch soil and a proud member of the Stellenbosch Football Club and a representative of their vision and their development in youth football. He was a beloved member of the Mamelodi Sundowns family. But above all these achievements, he was a son, he was a brother, and he was a father. And I believe those are the titles that Jayden cherished the most. To Mr. and Mrs. Adams, we'd like to thank you. We want to thank you for raising a son whose humility and ability touched millions of people. Football introduced Jayden to South Africa. But the values we admired in him, those were introduced by you and his grandparents. They began in your home. They began with you. And for that, all of us at Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club and South African football as a whole, we will forever be grateful for you. And that was Jayden. No long speech, no need to make himself bigger than the moment. Just a quiet confidence, that quiet charisma, that humility. Just Jayden. Now, many people outside of South Africa will hear the word Grootman and maybe translate it just to simply say big man. But those of us who grew up in South Africa know exactly that it means so much more than that. A Grootman is somebody people respect, someone people trust, someone people look up to, someone whose character is greater than their years. Jayden was only 25 years old, but in so many ways, he was already a Grootman. Not simply because it was just his nickname, but it was the man he had become. If Jayden's life is to leave us with one lasting lesson, I hope it is this. Scriptures tells us in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Those words have taken a very deep meaning for me and everybody at the football club now. They have reminded us that none of us were created in this life to carry life's burdens alone. Whether you are a footballer, a coach, a father, a mother, a supporter, or a leader, there will be moments in life when the weight becomes too much. And when those moments come, I pray that every one of us has the courage to let someone else walk beside you And I also hope that we have the compassion to notice when someone else is walking alone. Jayden, we will miss your magic. We will miss your smile, and we will miss your quiet charisma. We will miss our grootman. But above all, we will remain forever grateful. Grateful that for a special moment in time, your path and your life crossed with ours. Rest in peace, grootman. Thank you.
Thank you to the chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns, Mr. Fabian Mutsepe. But he was going to throw in a few words in Afrikaans also. You expect him at least to prata piki. But thank you for those wonderful words. Chairman, it was quite amazing how this nickname Frontman came around for Jayden, because there was a time when he was going through a lot. He'd lost his place in the team, he'd lost his place in the national team. He missed a flight at that time. We thought Coach Hugo Bruce is being too strict, you know? You know us South Africans, we like to take chances, and we thought, no, the coach is being too strict here. Let him come back to the team. And the coach spoke, said this is unacceptable. But credit to Jayden and how he took it, because he went and he looked at himself in the mirror. He cut his hair firstly, and he said that's why he cut his hair, because he's now a frontman. He's learned from his mistake, and it was incredible how he was able to force his way back, not only into the Sundowns team, but also into the Bafana team, and go all the way to the World Cup like a true frontman. So I think also give him credit for that. You can hear from the chairman of Sundowns that I think you can rest assured Adam's family that he had another family away from home. The way that they cared for him, the way that they looked after him. Even Fawaz spoke on the video that I'm telling you about, that they used to stay in the same complex, and they used to pick him up every morning to go to training and drop him off. Sometimes he'd be late and he'd have to wait for Jayden for a few minutes, but they had just that bond. And he says it hit him actually one day when he had to go to training, and he by the townhouse of Jayden, and he realized that he's no longer there. There are no curtains on the windows. And we also want to say strength to the Sundowns players that are watching this broadcast all the way from Austria. And Fawaz said something very interesting about Jayden and about how good he was as a player. He said in the team, if you don't know what to do with the ball, you just give the ball to Jayden. And Jayden will always find a way. And he would say, "Here made the ball, man, here made the ball. I'll find a way." And he always found a way. And that's why he was a midfield general, wearing a heavy jersey, also jersey number 80, worn by the likes of Framboke Ghana, Pans Papela back in the days, Nico Modisa for a short while also, Bongani Zungu. I'm sure if we go back, the president will remind us what else used to wear jersey number 80 at Mamelodi Sundowns. And I'd like to acknowledge also the Sundowns legends that are here, including Mambush Mudau, as well as Sugar Mabunda. Both jersey number 13s. So Mambush headed over 13 to Diane Mabunda, and Kambo gave 8 to Zungu and to Jayden Adams. We'd also like to call upon the other family of Jayden Adams. I think this is the family that he last broke bread with. She had some wonderful times. Led Bafana to a historic achievement of reaching the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup for the very first time under the leadership of the SAFA President, Dr. Danny Jordan. You can come up, President, also. Just a reminder also, toilets, bathrooms rather, if you go out the back, around here, the bathrooms will be there. And please, no photos and no recordings during this service. There are cameras, it is being streamed also for everybody that is not with us physically.
Well, the family of Jayden Adams, his father was probably the mentor, the shaper of Jayden. We would not have known Jayden, if not seen his talent, if his father did not walk with him and shaped him. So I want to thank you. You have a name of a football player. Your wife, thank you very much. Jamie Lee, Amy, thank you for giving us helping us to make an impact in World Cup. It's Jayden never in the history the coming to a complete silence in the memory of Jayden. It has never happened. No tournament was stopped. So Jayden gave us that special gift, and we'll remember him. I want to secondly acknowledge our leaders here, the Minister of Sport, Mr. Jayden McKenzie, who was with us in Pachuca in Mexico when we got the news of the loss of Jayden's grandmother. And he came and spent some time with the team and with Jayden. And spend a lot of time talking to motivating the players. So I want to thank you, Mr. Jayden McKenzie, for always being there. And particularly in this difficult moment. Came to share with Jayden. We also have and the Vice President of FIFA, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, has African football. And we want to thank him for being continued inspiration for not only Jayden, but for players on the African continent. That you continue inspiring them, both men and women, and giving a new perspective of what football can achieve. Your wife, Dr. Patrice Patience Motsepe, thank you for always being there and supporting your husband. Whenever Patrice is around, you are there in support of him. And we appreciate you and we want to thank you. The chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns, which became the home of Jayden, the support of Jayden, many of the teammates of Sundowns were not just teammates, they became soulmates of Jayden. Many of them from Stellenbosch, many of them from the Western Cape, making sure that Jayden continues to deliver for South African football. Now, we want to tell the family that we are here to convey our sympathy, our condolences, and compassion in this difficult period of time. To Akila and the children, we want to give you the assurance of your support because you have a difficult task to explain to your children who Jayden was and what Jayden's contribution was. You have to explain to them the role of their father, the impact that their father had on the South African society. And we want to make sure that you understand the great challenge that you have. We are there to support you. One of the things that stood out for me was when we were in Abidjan to play against Benin. It was a World Cup qualifier. And that match was going to seal the qualification of Bafana Bafana in the 2026 World Cup. Jayden was our midfielder to support the team on attack and to secure the defense when it was time to defend. That match was the match, in my view, that closed out the possibility for Benin. Benin was the biggest threat, not Nigeria, and therefore we understood that match we had to win. It was Jayden's friend, Basadine, who first ran on the left wing, crossed the ball for Lyle Foster to score. The team was still under pressure. And then it was the other friend of Jayden, Oswin Apollos, who crossed the ball into the penalty box. Now you know that Benin players are tall. They are giants. But somehow Jayden landed in that penalty box and out-jumped them. and scored a header to secure a 2-0 victory for Bafana. That was the end of Benin. So we knew we are going to go to the World Cup. And whether they deduct the 3 points or they don't deduct 3 points, we are probably the only team that qualified for the World Cup in spite of the fact that 3 points were deducted. Jayden secured a significant lead to secure that place in the World Cup. So we want to say to you that we appreciate Jayden's talent, Jayden's contribution, because we were there with him in Abidjan, in Pachuca in Mexico, and we saw in both good and bad times the Jayden that made a contribution to South African football. We saw in this World Cup Norway and England observing a minute of silence in recognition of the contribution of Jayden to football. They didn't know him very well, but they knew of his talent. They saw him on the field of play, and therefore they appreciated what he contributed in that World Cup. And in celebrating that moment, we think back of where it started and who started it. We want to thank you. We want to thank you because Jayden is not the only player that we lost. We lost Jayden. We lost one of Jayden's friends, also from Stellenbosch. We lost, he was 19 at the time. He was in our under-20 team when we got the sad news that he was no more. We lost Gibbs Loremi at 22 years old. And we lost many others below the age of 25. So what we have to do as South African football is to begin to understand the pressures that players are under to perform, pressures that they don't share normally in an environment where the demand is on a technical preparation for the team, the coach has his demands, and no one deals with what are the issues confronting each one of our players. What is their difficulties? What is their problems? And we have to provide not just a coach, but also the support for the players in the team beyond football. We have done that for our Banyana players. We've employed additional people to provide psychological, psychosocial support for each and every player. And it's very clear that we need to restructure the technical component in support of the team and the players, because it has become very clear that this is a major omission that we have to deal with. One of the things that South Africa needs is to revisit the funding model for sport. In Australia, all the support for sport comes from the lotto. And so it's in Britain. In South Africa, there is no direct contribution to football or to sport in general. And this is another point that we have to take up with the Minister of Sport. In 1994, when we started the process of looking of additional funds, it was agreed that sports lottery would be a major component.
Lately, seems your career depends on how fast you adopt AI. Want to know my secret? It's simple. I work in ClickUp. Your team projects, messages, and files are kept in one workspace. So the work is visible and the priorities are clear. And ClickUp AI has 100% context of your work, so it's an expert for your company and your workflows. When your workspace is this smart, you don't have to work harder to get ahead.
It's very clear. We cannot just have preparation of the team to play. We have to take a total view of the football player as a human being and all the other challenges that a human being will face in this modern environment and give the support. And therefore, go back, Mr. Minister, we're going to come and sit down with you to deal with confirmed allocations to sport. The other problem was raised with the former players and the association. We are one of the few countries where when you retire, it's the end of revenue or income for you. After that, you're on your own. When you're on the field, the revenue flows. Once you're off the field, you are on your own. We have to deal with these issues, and certainly we know that the minister is sympathetic. We have to restructure the funding model, and we will be in your doorstep early next week, Mr. Minister. We want to thank the family that they opened our eyes. They gave us the opportunity to look again at the many issues that confront football people. And therefore, we want to thank the father and the mother for your contribution and support. We had many letters of condolences from the English FA right through from Palestine Football Association expressing condolence and support for Jayden and the Adam family in Stellenbosch. So we are here to say farewell, Jayden. May the Adam family be blessed. May they find comfort in the memory of a man who made his contribution and brought so many joys to South Africans. We hope that tomorrow we will have hope again, and to the mother of Jayden's children, we want to thank you for taking care of Jayden's children in these difficult circumstances. Jayden's passing express solidarity for the family. And in this unprecedented moment of the post-World Cup, one of the things that will dominate South Africa is the passing of Jayden. We express on the family, please take care. We are with you. We will support you, and we will be in touch with you. Jonito, thank you very much.
Thank you to the President of the South African Football Association, Dr. Jayden, for those words there. I'm sure he's wearing number 23 at the back of that shirt that he's wearing right now. But thank you, President, and we hope you find more Jayden Adams, because there are many more Jayden Adams here in Ida's Valley, in Clutisville. They are all around here, and you just need to find them. Talking about Ida's Valley and Clutisville, I see a lot of people, I hear they talk a lot about Jayden's achievements with Sundowns, his achievements with the national team, rightly so, but it all started here. Jayden was the first academy graduate from Stellenbosch to earn a contract with the first team back in 2020. He was also part of the golden generation that won the DDC, went to the UK and won the Next Gen Cup. He was also part of the team that won the curling knockout. So I think it's also important to acknowledge where it all started. And I think that makes it 2-1 Stellenbosch, right? No pressure, Masandawana. We're going to ask Jesmone to come up just for a musical item. And after that, then we'll ask the MEC Ricardo Mackenzie also, after Jesmone, to also come up and say a few words on behalf of the Western Cape.
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, my condolences to the family. I pray that God will be with you in this time. Thank you.
Like a comet blazing across the Indian sky, gone too soon. Like a rainbow fading in the twinkling of an eye, gone too soon. Shining sparkling, splendidly bright, you wanted, come on like the lost of sunlight on a cloudy afternoon.
Thank you, Jess Monet. I can't be the only one who was expecting a lady to come up when I said Jess Monet. But if you close your eyes and you don't see who's singing, you can tell he's got a powerful, beautiful voice. Thank you for that item. And just to move on now, just a reminder, the bathrooms you go around, out the back around there, the bathrooms are there, no photos and recordings, please, during the service that is here. I said MBC, but I forgot things work differently here. I thought there was only one minister, but there's another minister here in the Western Cape. He's already coming up, doesn't need an introduction. Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport, Ricardo Mackenzie. None of you had a football name, Minister. Did you play?
I played a little bit of football. I wasn't good enough, so I became a politician.
Okay, well, there's always a way out. Thank you, Minister, because we all know that Jayden was not only a flag bearer for Ida's Valley from Cluttersville, but also for the entire Western Cape, and that's why it's important also to acknowledge the Western Cape, as well as the Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport.
Good morning, goeiemorgen, Modweni, everyone. My name is Ricardo Mackenzie, not related to our national colleague, Jayden Mackenzie, but let me recognize my colleague, our National Minister, Jayden Mackenzie, our National Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Alderman Jeremy Fraser, our Executive Mayor of our beautiful town of Stellenbosch, and his MACO members that's joining him here this morning, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the President of CAF, Dr. Danny Jordan, the President of South African Football Association, Mr. Tlopi Motsepe, the Chairperson of Mamelodi Sundowns, see Mr. Fafa Knuse is here, the Chairperson of Stellenbosch, Rob is also here, the CEO of Stellenbosch, and Jayden, obviously the General Manager of Stellenbosch, and also recognizing some of our members of Parliament, also the member of the Sports and Recreation Portfolios also here. Thank you for joining us here this morning, and several of our councillors are also here. Thank you for joining us as well. Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, the Chancellor of University of Cape Town and the co-founder of the Motsepe Foundation. Bridget Motsepe Khadebe, thank you for joining us. Also Goodwill Ambassador. And I think I've recognized everyone. If I didn't, please accept my apologies. All protocol observed. And I think most importantly, the Adams family. On behalf of the Western Cape government, thank you for giving us a young Jayden. I want to talk about two things. One is when I visited the Adams family and I walked into a house, there's a word in Afrikaans, and for those who don't understand, I'll try and translate some of it. There's a word in Afrikaans called trots. Trots is when your mother and your father is proud of what you have become. In English, it means proud. When you walk into the Adams family, there is Grootman's picture is there, and there are two words there in their house. The two words are onze trots, our pride for those who don't understand Afrikaans. And that is what he was to them. He was their pride. But I would argue, the Adams family, that he was also our pride. Because when you perform in front of 1.5 billion people across the world, you don't just represent yourself and your family, your region, your ward, like Cluttersville or Stellenbosch or the Western Cape. You represent your whole of South Africa. And that is what Jayden has done for all of us. There's 0.0001% of humanity that can perform in front of 1.6 billion people. And that is what you have given to us. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing, any person in this world can say that will take away what Jayden has given us. So from our side, I want to say, baie dankie. Baie, 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 baie dankie. Ons weet, op die oomblik is julle baie hartseer. En vandag en vorentoe is daar niks wat ons kan sê nie, wat die seer van julle kan wegvat nie. Julle is gebroken. Wat gebeur het saam met julle of enige iemand anders moet nooit gebeur het nie. Jong Jayden was vir ons as persoon 'n held. Hy is vir baie jong mense hier in Cluttersville, baie jong mense in Stellenbosch, baie mense in die Weskaap en natuurlik in ons land en reg oor die wêreld is hy iets wat baie, baie beteken. En dit is wat julle vir ons gegee het. Ons weet daar's baie dinge verkeerd in baie gemeenskappe in Suid-Afrika. Maar julle het ons 'n wenner gegee. En julle moet daaroor baie, baie trots is. En die woorde in julle huis, ons trots, spreek waarde oor wat julle dink aan hom en wat julle gegee het vir ons en wat julle gegee het vir die wêreld. When I visited the family and I talked about what people were talking about, and I read some of the messages from Instagram and from TikTok and from Twitter and from Facebook, and all of the messages that I read immediately after his untimely passing was extreme positivity. And as the president of SAFA said, the world came to a standstill. It is extremely rare for the world to come to a standstill and acknowledge someone as young as Jayden, or a few people that has reached that level of maturity around the world. I think the last time I can certainly remember it was with the passing of our former president, Nelson Mandela. I've yet to see the world come to such a complete standstill of someone such remarkable. And that is what you have given to us. And as I told you in the house that day, that is what you must focus on the positivity. People always say, I put smiles on my Facebook every day, I don't talk about the negative things. The reason I do that, because extreme positivity kills negativity. And that is what you must focus on. Focus on the success and the achievement that this young man has given us. And it would not have happened if the two of you didn't conceive Jayden. So thank you for taking part in that activity that gave us Jayden, because that activity brought him to us, it brought him to Stellenbosch and to the leadership of Stellenbosch Football Club. Baie, baie dankie. Sonder julle sou niemand vir Jayden geken het nie. So baie dankie aan julle almal. Ons waardeer julle, ons is trots op julle. En wat julle vir ons gegee het, Fafa en jou hele span, and everybody that helped to contribute to Jayden, and to Mamelodi Sundowns CEO, Chairperson, Dr. Motsepe, and what you've invested in sport. We know what you've invested in sport. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And for the leadership that you're showcasing at CAF, we hope that it will go further. And to whoever participate in any leadership battle in SAFA and any other sporting fraternity, please produce the best, because we need more young Jaydens to deliver for Bafana. On our side as the Western Cape, thank you very much. We have a token of appreciation, a certificate of honor that the Western Cape government would like to hand over to the Adams family on behalf of us. And I'd like to ask my colleague, the mayor of Stellenbosch, the CEO of Stellenbosch, and the chairperson of Stellenbosch to join me as we hand this over to the Adams family. Thank you, baie dankie, en ons almal is trots op julle.
Baie dankie, Minister. Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport in the Western Cape, Minister Ricardo Mackenzie. Might not have a football nickname, but is following in the right footsteps, because he's already a Mackenzie, he's already a minister, so at least he's got someone to look up to. Thank you for that. As we said, Jayden not only represented his family, his community, but the entire Western Cape. We do hope the certificate also comes with something. Very important, guys, very important to reward our heroes, if that's how we view them and that's how we refer to them. Western Cape is not just about the stomachs now. Thank you, Jayden. They used to say stomachs of necks. Now there's football also headed to that. Thank you. And while the handover is going on also, we're going to call up Minister Jayden Mackenzie now. Needs no introduction. A man who doesn't come after the fact. Minister Jayden Mackenzie, because we heard from those who were at the World Cup that when he got the news that Jayden had lost his grandmother, he actually video called him to check if he was okay, and he told him that He was okay. The minister has always been there for these boys before they went to the World Cup, during the World Cup. He was also there even after the World Cup now. He's here to pay his respect. And at least he's got a football name. They used to call him Water or Vater. Because he used to play with water, he was a water boy. And they used to call him Water. Welcome, Minister. The real Minister.
Thank you. To the Adams family, you know, the chairperson of Mamelodi Sundowns said that words doesn't have the real power to describe adequately what you're going through. But I want to leave you with scripture, because scripture has their power. I want to leave you with a verse in Psalms that says, the Lord is close to the trouble-hearted and the broken-hearted. So I want to say to you, the Lord has never been more close to you than he is at this moment. We love you and we want to thank you. I want to get the negativity out of the way without wasting time. I saw many articles blaming